Okay, well, probably the best place to begin here for you and I during our WordPress journey together here is to answer the question, what is a blog exactly? Well, you probably already have a rough idea of exactly what a blog is, but you might not have a sort of a full idea of exactly what a blog is and how it works and sort of the history of blogging and that sort of thing. So let's have a quick discussion on that. Well, first of all, the development of blogs and blogging technologies is one of the most remarkable web-based developments that we've seen in really the history of the internet. It has just exploded in the last few years. And blogging really began as a means for political opinion, sharing political opinion, but now in the modern day, we can find blogs on literally every subject. Cooking, fishing, blogging, auto repair, you name it. There's a blog out there. Someone has created a blog for pretty much every topic imaginable, which is very, very cool because now all of a sudden what we have is this explosion in ideas and information and opinions and all the rest of it. And what's fantastic about blogging is the really good blogs rise to the top, and the blogs that aren't sharing very valuable information, that aren't really sort of expressing very valuable content, they of course fall to the bottom, right? So it's kind of a neat platform. Blogging allows writers and artists, photographers, business owners, and pretty much anybody else to maintain a presence online and publish regular content. And what's so fascinating about all this is all of these people may not possess the technical skill to actually build a traditional website. So that's why blogging has really, really exploded. So in other words, if you aren't that comfortable with web design, if you're not that comfortable with coding HTML and working with CSS and all the rest of it, what's so amazing here is that we have this platform that's essentially going to do all the heavy lifting for us so that we, the creatives, the artists, the business owners, the photographers, we can focus on creating really, really killer content, right? Now, the term blog is actually short for the phrase weblog, and blogs began as early as 1994, if you can imagine. That's like the ice age in terms of internet time anyway. It all began in the form of online journaling, and towards the late 90s, it began gaining popularity, but then by 2004, blogging exploded online, and that's really where we've seen this huge increase in bloggers and blog sites. Now, most blogs have several common elements that you'll see. As you begin surfing around and visiting other blogs, you'll start to see these common threads, these common elements. The first common element that we see in most blogs anyway, is a chronological order of content. These pieces of content are called posts, and the content is in reverse chronological order with the most recent post at the top. That's usually how it works. Now, this chronological order of posts is what's referred to as the blog loop, and we'll talk more about the blog loop as we begin working inside WordPress and building up our blog. But the idea here is older posts appear towards the bottom of the loop, and newer posts appear towards the top of the loop. And we can control how many posts are displayed on a given page, and we can set up all sorts of different customization. The other thing that most blogs have in common is a way to archive all of these posts and all of this content. And this can be done in many different ways, but we can archive our content by category. We can archive our content by month. That's another way to do it. And there's a third way that's usually used, which is by using something called tags. You can create archives based on tags. And we'll take a look at all of this during our time here together. So hopefully this has kind of given you a sense of exactly what a blog is and how blogging actually functions, and a little bit of history there for you on blogging as well.